who do you think has the worst thumbnails in the One Piece YouTube game?
Oh, it's the Volume 1 podcast. Sure. To really succeed on YouTube, what audiences want is the same thing, but different.
Has doing YouTube changed you as a person? And how has it changed you in a good way? And how has it changed you in a bad way?
So you're assuming it's changed me.
Again, I base all the questions off of my own experience.
If you didn't know it already,
that shallow.
you did not know. What is an assumption that you think people make about you that isn't true?
I mean, do I have time to go through all the Reddit threads? There's a lot of assumptions people make about me.
In this episode of Adulting in Anime, we talk to Liam, aka Grand Line Review. Liam is one of the biggest and most prominent YouTubers in the One Piece community, with over 1 million subscribers on his main channel alone, which is only one of the many channels he either runs or is a part of. His love of anime and YouTube has allowed him to build something incredibly impressive. I mean, shoot, a One Piece chapter will drop and it feels like 10 minutes later, a fully produced, well-written, beautifully packaged, and entertaining video is in my feed. I mean, maybe not 10 minutes, but it feels like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. We took full advantage of having Liam on as a guest and asked him questions we wished we had the answers to early in our YouTube journey. And honestly, even now, Liam is so kind and generous. We had a blast recording this episode, so we hope you enjoy our conversation with the funny, the knowledgeable, the Australian Grand Line Review. Liam, Grand Line Review. Thank you for joining us here today. Liam, how are you?
Pretty good. And yourself?
I'm feeling real good, dude.
Fabulous.
Fabulous?
Real good.
Fabulous.
Real good.
That is a high standard to live up to. I'm not sure if I can do that. I'm just pretty good.
I think it's the multiple cups of coffee and Dr. Pepper, but I'm on a sugar high.
I'm feeling it.
Me with my plebeian 1 cup of coffee.
Liam, are you familiar with, I don't know because obviously we live in different areas, but are you familiar with Megan?
Completely the opposite ends of the world.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Megan Fox?
I am. I've heard the name and seen the face, which is in Transformers, right?
Yes.
She was dating Machine Gun Kelly. She was in a music video.
Yes.
Which is an odd pairing.
They might still be together.
I thought they broke up, and I thought it was anyway. I don't know anything. I don't know why I'm speaking. Proceed.
But you know about Megan Fox. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you right out of the gate, how do you feel about being called the Megan Fox of One Piece YouTube?
Very attractive. I'll take it.
And I draw that comparison because I feel like both you and Megan Fox have a lot of discourse surrounding your thumbnails.
Ah, okay. We're going that. Okay. I'll take it again. I am proud to be the Megan Fox of One Piece YouTube thumbnails.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was that joke?
Not terrible. You briefly made me feel better about myself, which is a mental space that I'm choosing to inhabit right now instead of the cliff you pushed me off afterwards.
Okay, all right. I felt like it was important to start the interview off with our best foot forward.
Yes.
So we're going to start our first segment of the show, the segment that we call Childhood. We want to get to know about your experience as an anime fan in your younger years, specifically because of, like I said, we like you said, we grew up on different parts of the globe, and I only know of other people's experience in the West, and so I'm curious to hear what it was like for you. The first question I have for you is what?
Can I just clarify before you do that? I still live in the West. Australia is still technically part of the West.
Well,
not some sort of
I say
bizarre
West,
dark continent out there.
Wait. Australia is a dark continent, first of all. Second of all, I say West because it's like West Coast, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very localized West that you're talking about.
You're making me blush,
Callie,
dude. Stop. You're making me turn red.
Cali Live. We're off to a freaking great start.
Woo, it's hot in here, dude. I shouldn't have wore a hoodie. Okay, well, let me rephrase the question then. Since you grew up in Australia and I grew up in America.
There you go.
There we go.
go.
That's more accurate.
Specifics.
Yeah. I only know about the American experience. I'm curious to know the Australian experience. But the first question is, what is the anime that started it all for you, and how old were you?
It's a very boring answer because it would have to be Pokemon when I was 8 or 9 years old. I got hit by that right at the correct time, which then evolved into Digimon and then Dragon Ball Z. And that is what, I don't want to say plant the seed, because it's more like it raised the garden of media that I had previously and just sort of permanently installed anime throughout my whole life from then onwards.
Besides Pokemon, Digimon, what series would it be? Because for me, outside of those two, the first, not that Pokemon isn't a real anime, but I mean, the anime that I first saw, so I don't mean to make waves. The first anime that I saw that I would classify, I guess, as a quote unquote real anime.
You're really trying to get people to comment, aren't you?
No.
Can we just have a comprehensive list of what you don't consider real anime?
No, it's not.
I think
okay.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't not consider it real anime.
Introduction.
Besides Pokemon.
Yeah, there we go.
Akira Toriyama just passed away, and you're here saying that Dragon Ball Z was not a real anime. Shame on you, sir.
Dragon
Shame.
Ball. You added Dragon Ball in there. It is really hot in here. Besides Pokemon, besides Digimon, would it be Dragon Ball then for you?
I guess it would, but I feel like what you're leaning towards is you want to like skip the very childhood and you want to know what like my first edgy teenage anime was. The first thing that I was like, yes, this is anime and this is dark and this is mature. And I guess that would probably be Neon Genesis Evangelion. Whoa. I got into that when I was maybe 12, 13, I forget, but it was much younger than when I should have gotten into it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, that's pretty rough stuff to be a 13-year-old getting into that.
Not only that, but my first exposure to it was the End of Evangelion movie, which was playing on SBS one night. And I understood nothing, but I watched it because it was anime. And at that time, anime was so scarce, so anything I could get my hands on was good.
Yeah, I barely watched Neon for the first time as a 34-year-old man, and I still barely understood it.
Oh, are you one of those as well? I'm also a 34-year-old man.
Really?
Whoa.
Yes.
It's, it feels good. It feels good to be...
It feels good, does it?
I mean, I think so. Megan's a little younger than I am, and I keep telling her 30 or being in your 30s is a wonderful time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. How much younger?
I'm 26.
Oh, so much younger.
Yes.
It's all right. It's pretty okay. I would say in my position in my 30s, I'm married, I live with 2 dogs, I have a career in an office. It's pretty all right. It's okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's when I really started to figure myself out. You have time to still be a mess.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what you're trying to
You
imply.
have so much time to gloat over how old he is. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
I know. It's my favorite thing to do.
She takes every opportunity.
Yeah, I really do. Because when we talk about just like our experiences with anime and manga, like you're saying Pokemon, it was already
what
like
would you have been?
It was already like we moved on. It was Beyblade.
Oh wow.
Well, it wasn't like that wasn't like an anime, but I just kind of equate it to like what was hot and popular. But the internet was around already, so
Yeah, we didn't always have that.
yeah, no,
that's true. Yeah.
So I had a computer in my room, and I used to just watch YouTube anime split into like 3 or 4 parts.
Or like back when Crunchyroll was actually a piracy website, they did a similar thing where they had to split episodes up into 3 parts.
Right.
Yeah, good times.
I guess that does lead into the next question. How did you have to get anime when you were younger?
Highly illegally, mainly through torrents. I had
same.
to get anime pretty much exclusively through torrents. Weirdly enough, they actually had a pretty cool system set up because the anime community, it wasn't very big, but it was very passionate. So whatever was airing in Japan, pretty much the next day, a fan subgroup would have taken the raw and would have completely translated the episode and uploaded it. We were still getting stuff pretty quick anime-wise. Manga was a lot more difficult.
I feel like even though we had torrents, which would sometimes take a long time to download, the subtitles...
Depending on the seeders, yes.
Yeah, which this is a real question. Were you a seeder or were you a deleter?
I was not a seeder.
I was
a
never
filthy deleter.
Yeah, same, dude. I don't think I ever
What is that?
So when you complete the download,
I don't even know what what are you guys talking about? You're seating? You're sitting? What the hell?
It sounds way worse.
It sounds really, really weird. Are you seating or deleting? I don't know what that means. Sorry.
So when you complete a download,
seeding is
go ahead.
Seeding is an
Okay.
act of charity. Once you've completed the download, you can then just keep it active as a seeder, which means that anyone else who's downloading that it'll become much faster. I'll speak English. It'll become much faster for them to do so.
Yeah.
Whilst you're seeding.
Yeah.
You're giving some charity to the people who gave you the episode, because a torrent without no seeders, does it download? I forget.
I think
I'm not sure if it does, or if it does, it's very slowly.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking like days, weeks even slow if there's 0 seeders. But
So
you're creating more like links in the chain to connect someone to that video faster or that file
So
faster.
you
Think of it
chose
as
to
like-
not do that. You both chose not to
Yes.
be those
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Why?
Think of it as getting a call from Goku. He needs energy for the spirit bomb. And what we chose to do was not give that energy.
Yes, that's a great way to say it. I don't know why. It was I don't know. It was
I
not.
don't know why either. You could have done it.
It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. It didn't take much.
I know, that's why I'm so shocked. You guys. And here we are,
And here we are.
bringing anime and manga content to the internet. Now you guys are kind of doing that. Yeah. In a way, you're
Kind of.
in a way.
We've become the seed.
Yeah, there you go.
We have become the seed.
I don't know if you had a similar experience, Liam, but for me, I was kind of, when I was younger, I was a little, I got to be honest, I was a little embarrassed about being a anime fan. And I didn't tell many people.
If you're being honest, it's not just a little, is it?
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It wasn't cool. It was very weird. And people really did, I think, associate it with things like hentai. Like you'd hear hentai jokes all the time, or, I don't know.
Yeah.
People had a preconceived notion.
In my high school, there was no discernible difference between anime and hentai. People didn't actually know the difference.
Right.
So saying that you were an anime fan was as good as outing yourself for watching tentacle porn in my high school. So we all kept it very under wraps, the few of us that there was.
Same. I think that is pretty universal. There was a point in a period where people did not know the difference and didn't care to know the difference, actually.
And in your favor, they didn't consider stuff like Dragon Ball Z anime.
That's true, which is kind of weird, I guess, looking back on it.
Yeah, or even like Pokemon.
I guess that was the other thing. If you said you were an anime fan, you were either a degenerate hentai watcher or you were into like the really childish cartoons that we'd moved on from in high school.
It was only like way later that I became more like comfortable.
So much later.
So much later.
It took a long time to come out as an anime fan, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
it wasn't in high school.
It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Did you?
I don't think it became socially acceptable until maybe when Attack on Titan came out.
Yes.
And that kind of caught people's attention, and it all of a sudden just became cool to watch anime somehow.
Yeah, I think that was around, I think it came out, the first season was like 2014, if I'm not mistaken.
Around then.
Around
Either
then?
2014 or 2013. It was when like really early Game of Thrones was happening, so
Yeah.
it kind of was able to springboard off that, another dark
That's right.
fantasy setting, but anime.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
right.
because I remember going to like my first anime expo around that time, like 2014, 2015. And then you saw like the boom of like how many more people were coming, selling out tickets, like all this crazy stuff. And I was like in freshman year of high school, and that's when it started becoming big. And people were like actually talking about it. And I would turn around and be like, you guys are talking. Oh, I guess this is chill now.
Yeah, I guess people like.
This is
This
cool.
now.
When I discovered anime was now a normie hobby and I could, be open with it, was when I started to see a lot of my normie friends cosplaying people from the Scout Regiment just popping up on Facebook all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Where was this passion when I was in high school?
So did you have? And let's maybe say high school. Was there a husbando or waifu that you remember having strong feelings about during that period of your life?
How strong are we talking?
I mean,
you can go, you can
maybe not body
the
pillow
scale.
strong, but like
I would go that far.
Okay.
Well, in high school, I didn't have the funds for body pillows, so we didn't go down that route. I have no idea how I would have explained that to my mother. Jesus, fuck. I would say probably Saber from Fate Stay Night was like my high school era waifu, yeah.
Nice. And I guess that's another piggyback of like, what did your family think about your obsession or like interest in anime and manga in general?
Well, my mom kept saying or kept asking me, when is this anime phase going to end? And she kept asking me that all through high school, all through university, and pretty much up until I became a YouTuber and it started being a profession. So that should probably give you a rough idea of how well the anime obsession is a good word for it, how the obsession was taken.
What was the hypest moment as a kid that you remember having in childhood, including high school?
Yeah.
When you were younger, the hypest moment that you remember experiencing in an anime or in a manga?
So the first is the boring answer. It's the episode where Goku turns Super Saiyan for the first time. That's like a landmark moment in everyone of our age's childhood, I'm going to say. As a close second, it would be when Luffy did Gear Second for the first time, which I believe happened when I was in year 10.
Wow.
Like when I was 16, around then, 16, 17.
That's also crazy to me because we obviously got into One Piece later in life.
Very late for your age, yes.
Yeah. Because as I was an anime fan since I was in high school and even before that, but One Piece was still even then daunting to me.
Yeah, same. I kind of wrote it off because I didn't really enjoy shonen all that much, and then I started getting more into it, and I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
One Piece was a very last-ditch effort for me because when I first got into manga, it started with Naruto, loved it, got through it, caught up, needed something else. So I moved on to Bleach, loved it, super cool, very mature, edgy, beautiful. Got through that, and I needed something else. I needed another long-running series, and I kind of went to One Piece as a last resort because I didn't want to read or watch One Piece. It looked so goofy and childish, and me, a 15-year-old teenage boy, did not have time for that. But eventually I caved, and it has reshaped my life.
That is exactly my experience, minus the One Piece stuff. But like I started.
You should answer the questions for me.
I'm going to. I am going to. I got into Naruto was the first one for me, and then after Bleach, and I really, those were the two series that really shaped my, I think, taste for a very long time when it came to looking for other series to watch or read. All right, I think we have enough to go off of from your childhood. I'm
now we're gonna
analyze
analyze
probing
you.
into my background.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna psychoanalyze you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Now we're gonna show you a series of Rorschach tests. Just kidding.
That's what these cards are for. Okay, let's flip them up.
I see a Saber body pillow. Is that
That's
normal?
funny. I never have owned a body pillow, but you know who has? Megan has.
I have like 4.
That's crazy.
4.
That you have 4.
I have 4, but they're
It's like a whole bed.
it
You
really
have
is.
to make a bed.
Yeah, I put them away. They take up the whole bed. But
You make a perverted raft out of
No,
it.
All right,
they're
okay.
not the ones.
Hang on.
They're not the ones that are perverse. Okay, don't get it twisted. I'm not. I don't have.
Of course not.
I swear. I swear. Now you're making me look bad. You guys are making me look bad. I swear they're not even a smidge distasteful.
Who would have predicted that of the three of us, the only person to have owned a body pillow was you?
Yeah,
I think because
multiple.
I can do it and it's not weird.
It's not as weird.
Whereas if I do it, it's immediately creepy and like, oh, he's a pervert.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I have to ask which 4 they are, though, now that you've brought it up.
I think it's, again, they're not the ones that are like front and back. I think it's like the character just kind of standing and then the back has like a circle with their
It's okay.
face
You
on
don't
it.
need to
I
explain
know,
yourself. I'm not judging you.
trying to paint you a picture because of the characters. I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear. Okay.
They're just for cuddling,
yeah. I have a
You're the one being weird about it. Go ahead. Sorry.
horses. I have a Kyo Soma from Fruits Basket, which is my number one. He was like my number one husbando when I was like growing up. So it's okay. I have.
Yep, you're in a committed relationship. That's fine. Yep.
I have Sue for my hero. Yes, it's Frog. Froppy, that's her name.
I can get on board with that.
And then I have who else do I have? Oh, King from my 7 Deadly Sins. It's a don't.
Yeah.
Is this a
You
Megan
have such
roast?
a diverse taste. I'm impressed.
And then who? I think the
Yuri.
Oh, Yuri from Yuri on Ice. Yeah. And that one
Which
is more
Yuri?
of a not Yuri.
Yeah,
Yuri
the
Katsuki.
dark-haired, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
He's it's more not a body pillow, it's like an actual pillowcase.
Mm.
That one's one of my favorites. Anyway, moving on.
Can't move on fast enough from that. All right, now we're going to get into our adulting in anime section. We're going to be focusing on things in the space that you are currently doing now. The first question that we have for you, Liam, is who besides yourself, who has the best thumbnails in the One Piece YouTube game? You can pass any of these questions, by the way, if you'd like.
Oh, no, I will pass no questions. The best thumbnails besides me, it's actually become really difficult. A couple of months ago, I definitely would have said O'Hara, and he's probably still the right answer. But people have really stepped up their game since we started doing custom thumbnails. I think BDA Law has some really, really schmick thumbnails that I enjoy. And there's a lot of other small channels that just pull this amazing artwork out of nowhere that can even make me jealous. So like One Piece community doing very well with thumbnails, I would say.
Who do you think has the worst thumbnails in the One Piece YouTube game?
Oh, it's the Volume 1 podcast. For sure.
Damn it. Well, you're right about that one. That one you did get
All
correct.
right.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
thank
like
you
that one.
so much. We had a great time. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You guys actually have really schmick thumbnails. From the very beginning, you guys decided on this really cool purple and white color scheme, which very much pops out amongst our niche because no one else really uses that combination of colors. It's very interesting. You can always tell when it's a Volume 1 video. Also, people are going to hate me for this, but my actual answer is going to be teching. I think he has the worst, but that is his thing. That's what differentiates him. He puts very little effort into them, and that's how you can always tell it's a teching thumbnail. He stands out.
Tekking is one of the nicest, one of the best in the game, the best to ever do it. But I do see his thumbnail sometimes too, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, but that is
You're like,
part of the
that's
charm. That is the
Tekking.
charm.
It is. It's the most critical effect. He puts no effort into his thumbnails at all, and that's what makes them pop. Because if you're not even trying to compete, then, you've got a USP happening. And that's why you can always tell a teching thumbnail.
And I think Tekking is, at a point where enough people in the space are aware of him, so he doesn't have to, I think,
he
cross the same hurdles.
Like Moist Critical. That's such a great comparison because it's just him.
It's just a screenshot of a tweet sometimes.
Or sometimes it's just him in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a title like this situation is horrible. It can be that vague and it'll have 2 million views. It's pretty incredible.
I thought I was going to stump you on that one, but that's another good answer.
How has being a One Piece creator changed your relationship with the series?
Well, One Piece and I are a lot more intimate now than we previously were. Thankfully, it really hasn't. If I wasn't doing this, I would still be just as passionate about it, but I wouldn't be able to invest as much time into it as I want.
Right.
It's a really boring answer to say it hasn't changed at all. It's changed my relationship with the fan base significantly more than it has with One Piece itself. If anything, I think I've come to appreciate One Piece a lot more because I now have to really dive deep into the fabric of it, and I really appreciate how Oda builds everything a lot more.
Do you feel like because you've been into this series since you were young, do you feel like the fan base, the community has changed a lot?
Yes and no. It's definitely gotten a lot bigger, a lot more diverse. But I will say that back in, 2005, it was still the same threads popping up. It was still like, who do you think would win in a fight? Zoro or Sanji? Who do you think would win in a fight? This admiral versus this person. Like, a lot has changed, but a lot has stayed the same, but louder because there are now more platforms and actual followings to be gained from essentially spewing crap online about One Piece, about having an agenda and supporting it so loudly that people either follow you because they believe you or because they just want to see how far you fall.
Do you think that the anime and manga space, because I admire so much like what you've been able to achieve in the space, But I feel like for us, like there are certain challenges that I don't think we were fully aware of because of the amount of variety that we try to cover. And because I don't think there's anything like anime and manga in the sense that if you watch a movie, you watch you're a fan of movies, and your tastes, you have many tastes, I guess. But with anime and manga, people have such a loyalty and a dedication to one specific series, and with each series, there are 3 different ways to consume it. You have the anime, the manga, and even when it comes to the manga, the scans.
Light novels,
or
too.
Light
even
novels,
light
yes.
novels.
Sometimes a web novel before light novels, yeah. Like ReZero has about 4 or 5 different ways of consuming it.
Which is insane to me, and something I truly didn't think about before we got into the space. We got into it because we loved it, and that was about the extent of the research portion of it. But do you think that it's a viable avenue to start a YouTube channel in this space in 2024?
Yes, but are you asking if it's viable to just start a channel that, say, I'm talking about anime in general, or are you asking if it's viable to start a channel talking about a specific series or with a specific niche?
I think you mean in anime in general.
Yeah,
because,
anime and manga in general.
Because YouTube, the YouTube algorithms, they favor you talking about one specific thing, and it is definitely more challenging to branch out and talk about multiple different series because it doesn't really like that too much.
Yes, and I guess that's the challenge that you've encountered.
Yes, honestly, if we're being honest, if we're being vulnerable, I feel like it's really sometimes.
I know, damn. I was like, okay, sure.
It just feels like, you're asking me a question from the perspective of the challenge that you've faced. And I can see how it would be very difficult. I tried a very similar thing with my second channel, New World Review. That was supposed to be just anime and manga in general. And eventually we just sort of filed it down and focused it into now a Hunter x Hunter channel exclusively.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Because that's what was getting views.
Yeah, I had seen a couple of videos on that channel, but how recent has it been a Hunter x Hunter channel?
Oh my God. 3 years now, maybe. It's been an embarrassingly long time for a series. It's only had 10 chapters in 3 years, but maybe it seems to work.
Maybe I'm thinking of another channel then, because you have the Blue Banana podcast that you do with Manu and Joy Girl. You have Dude in a Room, right? Which is something completely separate. So you have, how many YouTube channels do you have?
And Blue Banana is kind of owned between all of us. I guess I'll say 5 then.
5.
Only 2.5 of them I work on really actively though.
Yeah, I guess because I would have appreciated this information if I had just been starting out. But the way you've sectioned these YouTube channels off is to the benefit of the algorithm and stuff, right? Do you think that you would have been or it would have been a lot harder to succeed if these all existed on one channel? I think the answer is yes, right?
The answer is absolutely yes. What I have learned about YouTube, firstly, when you talk about the algorithm, there's always this tendency to try and cater your stuff to this mysterious machine entity and to sort of please the machine. But the algorithm is a function of human desire. It is designed to feed people what they want based on what they watch. So when you say catering to the algorithm, it's just catering to the audience through a mechanism.
Yes.
What was the question? Yes, niches.
Yeah.
I have found that to really succeed on YouTube, what audiences want is the same thing, but different. And the more you can make it the same while still being different, something that they already like, the more that you can succeed from that. So for example, all of the videos on my channel are about One Piece, but they're about different One Piece topics each video. Same but different. They're all about the same time. They all feature the same sort of editing style. They all feature the same sort of scripting style. The idea is that if you like one video on Grand Line Review, you're going to like the other 1,000 plus of them.
And I feel like that is again where we have kind of struggled sometimes, because if you like One Piece, that doesn't mean you're going to like Chainsaw Man, or that doesn't mean that you're going to like Dan. And I just feel like that is something it's most true in this space compared to again, movies or even books. There are genres in every medium, but I I don't know why I feel it more in this space than any other.
Yeah.
10 years ago, if you were to come up with an idea about talking about anime in general, I think it would have taken off super well. And it did, with all of like massive anime creators like the Anime Man and Giguk, people of like the before generations, like way before I was starting it. Because anime was such a small community. If you were an anime fan, it didn't matter what kind of anime you were into, because there were so few of us. So it's just like, oh shit, you like anime? I don't care what kind of anime you watch. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're all segmented off, and you can't just say you're an anime fan. If you're like, yeah, I'm a shonen fan, I'm a shoujo fan, I only read adult manga, I only read seinen.
Yeah.
The communities they're getting bigger, but they're also dividing more. So I don't know how well just like general anime and manga talk, even anime and manga. Like I know that Murphy Napier has now made her whole main channel just manga focused, which I think still works because at least you're condensing it to manga. If you introduced anime to that as well, then that blows things out of proportion way too much. Like there's just too much variety. You're going to get a lot of tourist traffic. Someone will come to your channel because they want to watch one video, but then the next 3 uploads they have no interest in, and so YouTube stops recommending it to them.
Yeah. I was actually very shocked that she turned her main channel into a manga channel.
I was proud of her.
Yeah. I can't imagine how much thought went into that.
It was a long time. She's been talking about doing that for years.
And it seems to be working for her, and that makes both of us, I think, so happy, because obviously, who doesn't love Murphy? Except for maybe Jay. I don't know. Her and Jay got something going on.
Oh yeah, they have beef. But Murphy Napier is Murphy Napier is the darling of the One Piece community. As soon as she started doing review videos, like everyone just collectively embraced her.
She really is great. Has doing YouTube changed you as a person for the better or for the worse? And how has it changed you in a good way, and how has it changed you in a bad way?
Interesting. So you're assuming it's changed me. So I've got to go with either really good or really bad.
Listen,
I am a lot more.
But I have a sneaking suspicion.
You're sneaking. What's your suspicion? Tell me your suspicion. I'm curious.
Again, I base all the questions off of my own experience.
If you didn't know it already,
that shallow.
you did not know.
Yeah.
I would say I feel bad saying this because then it's changed me for the better in so many ways. But the examples that stick out in my mind are where it's changed me for the worse.
Oh. Okay.
And in particular, it's made me a lot more cynical about mankind, if I could go into, that sort of deep philosophical thought.
Oh,
Just because when you get thousands of comments a week, 99% of them are fantastic. They're like perfectly chill, well-adjusted people who just want to share their passion about fictional pirates. But then there's that 1%. That 1% who say the most absurd, hurtful, strange things where you're just like, people like that exist in society. And I think probably the best example of this is when I was doing a charity month a couple of years back. And I had someone send me a death threat and threaten to audit me if they didn't receive confirmation that the money was going to that charity. And that took me quite a bit off guard.
That's
like the more
crazy.
good you do, the more evil you will see spring up in response, is my experience with YouTube, especially charity stuff. Like that brings out the darker side of humanity. Ugh.
Yeah, and I think it gets to a point where it's obviously the more people that you have, the more eyes you have on you, the harder it gets to ignore those things, because there's always going to be a group of people that just says the most horrible, awful thing they can think of.
Yeah,
How
the
long
negative
have you?
is more.
How long have you two been doing this now? Sorry.
Oh, no, it's
go
okay.
ahead.
It's okay. 4 years.
Yeah, about 4.
How much more self-conscious would you say you've become in those 4 years? Megan, I know you were an actor, so you were probably always very aware of your appearance. But I know when I started it with YouTube, I was not aware of my appearance at all. And ever since then, I am hyper-fixated on everything that goes on camera.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even we started it, 4 years ago. I'm 26 now, so I was a bit younger than I am now.
4 years.
And seeing yourself age on camera is not fun. And it's not even that drastic. I don't want to be extreme here, but still.
All the way
it's
from
like,
22 to 26. My
I
God, retire
know.
now.
I know, but it's like, oh my gosh, like it's crazy, but like having your youth recorded. I remember that. And again, I know. It's like talking to you guys, like you guys are making fun of me, but
No, we're not making fun.
it's crazy.
I understand, yeah.
It's crazy.
Because if I go back on old videos, you've got me, unshaven, not particularly taking care of my skin well, and I could see myself aging. I think in my case, it's for the better because I've become more hyper-focused on it. But yeah, your youth has been stolen. I won't deny that.
I think for me, I think I kind of care less than I did before.
Oh shit!
Wow, completely the opposite.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. I mean, the answer might be more sad than that. It's because like
Oh,
I
Josh,
don't. No,
why do you preface these
okay.
answers with like the craziest sentences?
Because
Okay.
I feel like there's so much more to do now. Like when we started doing YouTube full time, I kind of surprised myself by an answer I gave someone when they asked me at a party, like, what was one thing you wish you had known about doing YouTube full time? And the one thing I said, the response that I had immediately was that, like, I wish I knew that, like, doing YouTube full time, I associated that with more freedom. And it actually turned out to be quite the opposite. Your reaction.
Oh, you were
says
wrong.
all. Yeah, I was very wrong. Very, very, very wrong. And so, because of that, like I spend so much time thinking about everything else and thinking about all the other things that we need to read or record or edit or do that. Like, I used to have more time to like think about like, what am I going to wear this episode, And now I just don't. It's like the last thing on my list of things.
I get you. I had to structure my life so that I wear basically the same thing every day. I have like 30 of these different black shirts with different stuff on them. I have 30 pairs of shorts, all in the exact same kind of shorts in different colors. I have 30 pairs of socks. I have about 5 pairs of the same sorts of shoes in different colors, so that it just makes the choice a lot easier. It's this one, this one, this one, this one. All good to go and streamlined.
Has anybody ever seen these shorts that you speak of? I feel like it's always chest up.
It is always chest up.
Could be
Very few
pants for
people
all
have
we
seen
know.
what goes on down here.
Maybe Patreon members.
Oh,
maybe YouTube members.
oh, shooty.
I will say that today my shorts are red. If that's
Painting a
something anyone wanted to know.
picture. Painting a picture.
Thank you for that.
Josh really wanted to know. I think when we first started recording, he's like, I really want to ask.
It just helps me get in the right headspace.
What color his shorts are.
Right.
Freaking pervert.
It's like not in a pervert way. It's just like it's almost like
Says
Groundhog's
the
Day.
body pillow owner.
Exactly. Thank you.
No!
It's like what kind of day the day's gonna be based on like the color. Like.
I have 3 different kinds. I've got black shorts, I've got red shorts, and I've got dark blue shorts. And they all are made to work together with whatever I've got on my shirt, whatever color's on that at the time.
I think there's some deeper meaning. I think red means you're feeling confident. Black maybe
Confident.
you're feeling.
I can tell you I wasn't feeling confident when I realized I was an hour late for this recording.
I just think that you got to be some level of confident to wear red shorts. That's all I'm saying.
You should try it sometime.
I feel like you'd need to be more confident to wear a red shirt. I think that's calling more attention to you than this. Red shorts, they're more of like an accessory. There's not too much red going on. They only go down to about like half knee height. So most of the focus is still muted colors and my disgustingly pale skin.
Don't. I would take your skin over this red, whatever this is.
You're just making him blush a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
We call him Tomato Josh on the channel because
Yeah, it's
when he gets embarrassed.
It's called getting ahead of it, like owning it. That's what it's called. No one can make fun of you if you already call yourself that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like when I first started appearing on camera, everyone said I look like Elon Musk and still do. And so I had to own that for quite a while before Elon Musk bought Twitter, and then things got weird.
Yeah. Hit Liam with another question.
Yeah. This is kind of relating. What is an assumption that you think people either in real life or on the internet make about you that isn't true? And that could be you as a personality, as a creator, pretty much anything.
I mean, do I have time to go through all the Reddit threads? There's a lot of assumptions people make about me. The biggest one is that I don't write my own videos, which is an assumption that really annoys me, because writing is like the one thing that I'm best at with these videos. It's the only way to get my personality conveyed. No one else can write for me. And so when people get on the internet and they say stuff like, he doesn't even write his own scripts without any proof, it just makes me go, ugh. And what makes me go even more are the people who reply to it going, really? I didn't know that. Just trusting, buttfucker89 on Reddit who said that. In real life, an assumption about me is that I don't do anything because the entire, I guess, idea of YouTube, or at least in this space, is to make it look easy, to make it look like you're sort of just sitting down with a friend and enjoying, chatting about something. And not a lot of people in real life realize that I work pretty much 7 days a week, an embarrassing amount of hours on those 7 days as well. Mm-hmm. And they look at me with a kind of, not everyone, some people, select people look at me with a sort of disdain that I've gotten very lucky stumbling into this, where I can wake up whenever I want. I can work whenever I want. I can take time off whenever I want. And all of that's true. But if I ever took time off, things would go bad very quickly.
And I think that there's a shadow side to being able to work whenever you want. People assume, oh, yeah, if you can work whenever you want, then you can not work a lot. But for people like I think all of us here, that means that no one's there to tell us to stop working.
No. And you guys, do you have an external office, or is this your actual living room that you're in right now?
Kitchen.
The dining room, kitchen area.
Sorry.
Yeah, and it is where I reside. It is
right.
in my, so I don't have a dining room.
Your work is literally your home. You can never disconnect. You can leave the room, but your office is still a wall away.
Yep, and it's hard because I will, it's an apartment, and so I can literally see even the living room from where we're at, which means the inverse. When I'm in the living room, I can see
see the office,
yeah, and feel
looking very
guilty.
Empty and longingly at you.
Yep.
Use me, the studio.
That's exactly what it sounds
Just
like.
Just come on in here. I imagine it like having like a country accent. This studio.
Oh, okay.
Come on in here. Do some editing. just put that hat on. Be here for a couple hours.
That's interesting.
Why? You're from Virginia.
I am.
I thought that it would be, I don't know. I thought it would be.
I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just an interesting
You're giving
choice.
off the vibe that you don't like it. It's just my headcanon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Because like I'll even be like, watching a movie, and then in the back of my mind think like, is this really what I should be doing right now?
That's why I had to get an external office. I worked from home for about 3-4 years full time on YouTube. And it got to the point where I just despised being at home. So I had to look into renting an office somewhere nearby, and that's where I currently am at. So it means that when I leave the office, I can completely disconnect from work. Yes. I never do, but I can do it more than I used to be able to when I was working from a desk in my bedroom, for example.
You leave the office, but you still have your phone with you, and your phone has like everything you do.
People can still email you. You've still got to post a video at like 10 p.m. Australian time because half my audience is American, and that's when they're waking up.
Yeah. Is there one thing about the anime manga space, or I guess a better way to say it is like, are there things that you love and things that you hate about the space?
Yes.
What?
Specifically.
I wanted to see how long I could hold it, but I couldn't. I cracked way too soon. What are some of those things? Because I feel like recently it's been a bigger and bigger conversation that is being had around like leaks and scans and all of these things. Everybody feels so divided, and that might not be your answer, but that's something that comes to mind, for me. But what are some of those things for you?
Well, lately there's a lot of things with leaks and scans, and everyone's so divided. And that's one of the things that really gets to me about the space. Sorry for just...
God damn it.
Sorry, I had to do that because it's such a difficult question to answer because it immediately... You're asking me for everything I love and also dislike about this very broad topic. But leaks are something that I do just because you brought it up, or use that because it's all I can latch onto now. I really despise leak culture, despite the fact that I do play a part in it by what I do. I hate the fact that in order to have a relevant video on One Piece, you do need to follow the scanlations because they, even after the arrest, they still come out. I think it's on a Friday for me. I don't know what it is for you.
Yeah, it's Friday.
But they still come out, 3 days before the official release. And attention spans move so quickly that if you wait to the official release, people are over it. They're already keen for the next thing. Before the arrests, sometimes there were leaks before the official translation was released for the next chapter. So you couldn't wait till then.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult because the way I describe One Piece is it's an addiction. And that's why our spoiler culture is so bad, because we are addicted to this absolutely brilliant story. So of course you're going to get to a point where you want it as quickly as possible in whatever form as possible. But I hate our dependence on it.
I guess for us too, it's similar in that like we cover the scans because we feel like we have to.
You filthy pirate.
And it feels sometimes like I have like inner battles with that like all the time. But it just feels like right now, I mean, that's what we have to do to
It didn't used to be this way.
When did that change, you think?
Giffith is precisely the moment when it changed. It used to be that scans would come out like on a Saturday my time, which was okay because then the chapter would come out Sunday my time. So it wasn't too big a gap. When Gear 5th happened, all of a sudden leaks got crazy because everyone wanted to know what was happening with it. So there were even cases where official media was being leaked from, I think it was a Saudi Arabian translation of One Piece. They were like leaking these proper digital chapters that didn't even have text yet. And that's also when the hint culture started, when the leakers on Mondays would give like GIF hints about what was coming up. And that's when everything sped up, because when Gear 5th happened, there was big competition to get eyes, because we were talking about an explosion of potentially millions that were now hooked onto what Gear 5th was. And that was big revenue for scan groups. So everyone worked overtime, and then that never stopped afterwards, because I guess the mechanism was found to do it earlier.
Yeah, and I don't see it ever like not being the way that it is now. Like I don't ever see it going back to just something that is only covered like officially.
Not until Weekly Shonen Jump goes full digital. I don't think it will ever happen until that.
To throw a wrench into the conversation a bit, but still on the topic of One Piece, I'm going to ask you, fuck, marry, kill, Frankie, Jinbei, Usopp.
We're marrying Jinbei because he's very responsible and he'll take care of me. We're going to kill Usopp because I think he'd be the easiest to get the deed done, which leaves us with Frankie. And at the very least, I suppose that'll be an interesting experience.
To say the least.
That's the only real answer.
And you know what? That's
the right answer. No, it really is. I was like trying to play like, okay, so all of the variables, that is the right one.
Yeah, it is. Do you, in Australia, do you guys say fuck, marry, kill? Or do you say, because I know in the UK, I think they say snog, marry, avoid.
Yeah.
What is Australia's version of it?
No, we're just pretty upward. Fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, it's a little extreme.
The most blunt way you can say something is the Australian way to say it. We don't indulge the UKeries of, who would you snog? We don't do that.
That was the right answer, Liam. That's impressive that you got that one right. I've tried to throw you for many loops, but you've come out on top every time. Only a few more questions that we'd like to ask you. in a parallel universe, you're not talking about anime, manga. What is your YouTube channel about?
Oh, okay. You've probably thrown me with like one of the more regular questions here. God, I don't know. What would it be about? I would say it would probably be either about a different kind of media, maybe films, but it might also be what I'm doing right now on Dude in a Room with Murphy once a month. We sit down and I present a topic to her and we just have a discussion. Sort of like this, but much funnier and with lots of plans to screw around with her.
I feel sometimes like, because obviously you cover anime and manga, which are stories, that must mean that you have like a love for stories in general, right? Like movies, television. I don't know if you're a big reader or not.
Books. I've been analyzing media for the vast majority of my life at this point, so I like stories. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Is there a series that people would be surprised to hear that you are a huge fan of in one of those categories?
Surprise? I don't know. I feel like I'm fairly predictable. I love Lord of the Rings. I love Avatar. What's something that people would not expect from me? These painfully mundane questions are throwing me. Jesus, I don't know. At the moment, I'm really enjoying Netflix horror series by Mike Flanagan, I guess is something that people may not expect or is so far removed. Stuff like The Fall of the House of Usher and Midnight Mass, Haunting of Hill House, stuff like that.
We just binged almost all of them. The only one that I haven't seen is Bly Manor. I've seen all the rest
I haven't
of
seen
them.
Bly Manor either. That's the one I haven't seen.
I've heard mixed things about it, but I think my favorite, Midnight Mass, dude. That's a freaking show right there.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that was the first one of his I watched, and I feel like it should have maybe gone the other way around.
Yep. I feel like to me, I enjoyed it more than Usher, even though Usher was great. And a lot of his other series, Midnight Mass was incredible.
Yeah, I would say Midnight Mass.
Usher was great.
It was.
Yeah.
Usher, and then
Haunting and Hill House.
Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fall of the House of Usher was really great. I liked the sort of affluent setting, but I found myself like recognizing a lot of his classic tricks. Like I have been trained with his shows to always be scanning the background for figures. And as a result, some of the scares didn't quite hit as hard as they could have because he has a very distinctive style.
He does. Megan, I think we have one more question before we move on to our game.
Okay. What is your least favorite One Piece theory?
Zora Kills Kaido is my least favorite One Piece theory of all time. I actually have it in my bathroom because I despise it that much.
Framed? Is it framed?
Yes. Hang on. Let me take a picture.
Wow.
In the bathroom.
It's like, is it in the toilet?
Oh,
It's a print of it in the toilet.
that would be awesome if it was in the bowl
It's in the toilet bowl.
and he got to pee on it and shit on it. I like that a lot. Yeah. Oh, man, it better be that. If it's not that, I'm going to be a little let down. Liam? Just kidding. I want to act like
You're going to be a little let down, so I'm sending you the image on Twitter now. This is my office bathroom.
Did you hear what we were saying about wishing it was in the bowl?
Yeah. You want me to defecate on the theory. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that would bring
Did you hear that part?
That would bring me joy. Oh, it is framed. Oh my God.
With the cheapest frames I could find.
What are the other, it's hard to see. What are the other framed images in there?
That's all Zora Kills Kaido.
All of it.
That theory was like a 40+ page dossier.
Wow.
I still have a lot.
That is amazing, dude.
So for a video I did, I printed the whole thing off. And I've still got a lot of pages that I didn't have enough frames to frame.
Wow.
It's a big theory, and it's so shit.
That's amazing. I respect that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into our game now. Our game today is a game that we are calling Spot the Difference. Liam, you're a professional. You're a knowledgeable figure in this space when it comes to the One Piece manga. So we have a series of One Piece panels that we are going to show you, and it's going to be up to you to determine whether they have been altered they have been doctored, and if so, how, or if they have been changed at all. Some haven't been changed at all. We're going to see how many out of 10 you get right and how many you get wrong.
Great.
And we should say no text has been changed. No, the onomatopoeias, things like that. None of that has been changed.
Good, because that would be sneaky.
This was made by a member of our community. Shout out to Kiwi. Kiwi is amazing, and we love him for it.
Thank you, Kiwi.
Thank you, Kiwi. This is the first image.
Ooh, okay. Well, the first problem is Zola.
Right. This is, I think, taken from the official translation.
Oh my god, what
Is anything changed?
is it Sanji's? No, can't be Sanji's eyebrow. Am I thinking too deeply into this?
No
this
hints or clues yet.
This is embarrassing. I don't know. I'm gonna say eyebrow, but I'm probably wrong.
Eyebrow is incorrect. What has been changed is Sanji's Diable Jumbo. I can never say it, so forgive that pronunciation.
Diable Jumbo.
There you go.
Oh, cut. It's just a flame on the foot.
Okay, now you
It's
kind
gonna
of
be
get
like
a sense.
this, is it? It's gonna be like this, right?
It's going to be like this. Let's move on to the next image. Now that you have a sense for what things
let's.
could be changed, here is the second image. Let me make sure, I'm making sure I'm sending you the one that's doctored and not the answer.
You could really mess with my mind by sending the proper one.
I could sit here forever. All right, here is the second panel.
Okay, Rocinante.
Again, text or even like effects, things like that, in terms of like that thump in the back, those words will not be changed.
Is it Law looking like he's smiling in the bottom left? Does he actually look like that?
He does.
That's what I'll go with.
He does actually look like that. What has been changed here is Corazone's eye, the marking under his eye.
Change sides.
Change sides.
Change sides.
That was a simple.
Very well so far. No. That makes a lot more sense because otherwise the right side of the frame is too dominated, to balance his faces out. Yeah.
All right, here is the next one. More law.
This is gonna be stupid, isn't it? What's changed about you, mate? What's changed? His spots on the wrong part of his... No, it can't be it because there's a close-up of it as well. I don't know. I will say tattoos on the fingers.
Tattoos on the fingers is wrong. This is the first one that hasn't been edited at all.
Oh shit! I forgot that was an option.
I will give you a hint and tell you that there are two more that haven't been edited at all.
Great.
All right, here is the next one.
Afro Luffy. My favorite form of Luffy. I'm so paranoid.
It gets in your mind. It really does.
It really screws with you. Oh. I would either say tattoo on the chest or nothing. I don't recall a tattoo on the chest so vividly. I'm gonna say nothing. This image is perfect as is.
Your first instinct was correct.
Oh!
The tattoo on the chest has been changed.
Wow. It's very almost sun gaudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Gear 50.
So it wasn't
Very Rocks Pirates Jolly Roger.
the real one. Yeah. I love Afro Luffy though, man. I hope we see him again.
I mean, he is the strongest form.
That's Luffy's Gear 6, actually. Afro
That's
Luffy.
my theory.
Here's a very iconic panel.
Still better than Zoro kills Kaido.
Here's a very iconic panel.
Nothing happened. I am going to say that nothing has happened to this panel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is panel number 5. Oh, I lied to you. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna give you a point for that one. Because wait. The onomatopoeia was removed, but I told you that those weren't edited. That is my fault. That's a point for you. I was not trying to sabotage you, I promise.
Saboteur!
Yeah.
I promise. I promise. So you're gonna get a point for that one because that was my bad. That was my bad.
That was all your fault.
But none of the other onomatopoeias have been changed.
How many other lies have you told me?
Zero. All right, let's move on to 6.
I thought you guys were trying to be clever, like nothing has happened to the panel.
Oh,
Damn it.
that would have been better.
See,
than what
Liam,
you
that's why
did.
you're freaking better at this.
That's why. Damn it.
Here is the next one. We're over halfway through.
1 for 5, sort of. Only because you screwed up, not because I noticed. Kuzan Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Smoker losing again.
Man, I think I hope I didn't mess up.
Have you done it again? Is there
What's
actually
wrong
an
with you?
osh in this panel?
No. I'll wait.
You'll wait. Okay. I can't see anything wrong with it. So I'm going to say there isn't anything wrong with it.
You are right. Nothing has been changed in this version. That is one you got all on your own. My fuck up had nothing to do with.
The only thing I could think is, I don't know, were there like strings in the original, but then...
No, you're doing, I don't remember our score, but I think you're already doing better than we did. I'm telling you, we did pretty horribly.
It's 2-6. 2 out of 6.
Here is the
Yeah.
next one.
Oh, come on. You can change so many things about the song.
That's true.
Yahoo! Let's go to Fishman Island. Oh, there's so much detail, so much! And so many onomatopoeias. Lots of glub glubs and dooms.
Getting real close. Getting real close.
There's a lot of detail in it. Oh, it's deceptive. If something has changed, then I do not see it. But I also don't want to use my nothing has changed again. Because something's probably changed here because it's so much stuff. It could be anything. I'm going to say nothing has changed. Now tell me what you've changed.
You are right! Heck yeah, you got that one.
I feel deliberately designed to mess with me.
The amount of things that could be changed was
It's
a clue.
infinite.
Yeah, so I mean, you'd think that it'd be easy to change something that was supposed to throw you off, but you saw right through it. We are down
Thank you.
our final
three.
So I will say that there is, out of these final 3, 2 have been edited, 1 has not been edited. So I'll show you the first of those 3 now.
Thank you. Newcomerland. Okay. Oh, so much detail.
This one,
You're throwing me into an internal crisis.
this one threw me for the biggest loop. I was looking at this image forever.
I want to say it's the tattoo on the chest, but I also don't want to say that because we've already done that, and it would be boring to do it again.
Imagine we did it again.
Yeah, I can. I can't waste time here. I'm just going to say tattoo on the chest.
That is wrong. What has been changed is Ivankov's crown is completely different.
Oh, it's not the puffy crown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whose crown is it?
I actually don't know.
Looks like it might be like Elisabella or something. It's not the puffy crown, of course.
But that one was a good
Yeah, man.
one. All right, we're down to our final 2. I'll save the iconic one for last.
We're in Udon. So bad at this. Picking some of the most detailed characters we can. The only thing I can think of is, does Hyogoro not have his tattoos? But my immediate question after that is, did he ever have tattoos?
It's the Mandela effect.
Yeah. It all looks normal, but I'll say tattoos just because it came to my head.
This is unedited.
Damn! Which means that the next one definitely is edited, and I can't
fuck,
use that.
Fuck, I didn't think that through. Liam. You're playing 3D chess right now.
It's
And
really
losing.
not. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm playing 3D chess against myself.
But how is it edited will be the
Yeah, you can't just be like edited. That's not the game.
Okay, this is very iconic, isn't it?
Very iconic. Should be easy. I'm trying to make up for my kerfuffle.
Should be easy, he says, not putting any pressure on this at all. So is left hand or is it right arm? I think the Straw Hats are out of order.
Final answer?
Yes.
Liam, you are absolutely correct.
Yes.
They are
I
out
don't
of order.
recall Zoro being in the middle.
You are
I think he was on like the outer.
Yeah, Zoro is all the way to the left.
Yes. That's my obsessive Zoro nature.
That's the
Okay,
game.
I'm proud of that one. I'm proud of that one. It would have been really embarrassing to lose on something so iconic.
You actually beat our score, which was the only bar you had to
Which is not
reach.
Yeah, which
was a low bar
yeah,
to begin
very
with.
low.
How low?
How low is it? It was low.
It was. I think we got honestly. I don't remember exactly, but I think we only got two
Or
right.
one.
Yeah, not
Okay,
very good.
okay.
And we did that live, so we couldn't edit it or choose to not put it out. It's on the internet.
Integrity
forever.
somewhat saved. Somewhat.
Yeah, somewhat. Well, you did. I think really, really well. Thank you, Liam. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on this show, for hanging out with us, for talking to us. It is really nice to actually get to talk to you. Like not just through like Twitter, to actually sit in front of a camera and talk
Yeah.
to each other in real time. It is nice. We're both huge fans of everything that you do. We have nothing but respect for you. And
No.
again, just want to say thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on. This was good fun, despite all of your trickery and lies.
Yeah, really, man, that game is so hard to do. Like coordinate, sending the
it's
right
so hard to
links.
do when you know all the rules, let alone when there are hidden onomatopoeia rules.
Yeah.
Sorry about that one.
No,
Sorry
so
about that.
specific too. It's like onomatopoeia is the one thing
Oh,
that
you're like,
actually
there
was.
are no onomatopoeia.
Oh, damn, dude. Damn, I'll cut that part out. Just kidding.
Madman. Madman.
Liam, I'm positive that anybody who is a fan of One Piece or is in the anime and manga space knows who you are, knows what you do. But just in case they don't, is there anything you want to tell people about that you're currently doing, or how they can go support you in any way?
Yeah, I talk about fictional pirates 3 to 4 times a week on Grand Line Review. I talk about fictional hunters once a week on New World Review. I speak to Murphy Napier once a month on Dude in a Room. I have a new puppy who's currently getting along with my 10-year-old border collie. And that's my life. People do know me. I got recognized at my local supermarket the other day, which was awkward.
Were you holding something embarrassing? Were you?
Oh, condoms for days. Yeah.
3 whole bags full. Oh,
3 bags full.
Grocery
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
bags full.
that's what I envisioned in my head. An embarrassingly crazy
Right.
amount.
No,
Liam-
I did get recognized once in Parramatta with my wife when we were both holding 2 bags full of cereal each because we'd gotten some American cereal, which you can't find in a lot of
Really?
places in Australia, like Lucky Charms and stuff.
Oh.
And my wife and I are both big fans of the horrifically sugary American cereal.
Yeah,
So we
it's
bought
one
a
of the
lot of
best
it.
things
And then-
here.
Yeah. And then I got recognized just holding bags and bags of cereal.
Lucky Charms is a good bag to be caught holding, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
at least it wasn't like, I'm trying to think of a bad cereal that you could have been caught with, like Cheerios. you know
Other
what I mean?
cereals were involved. There were no Cheerios. Too basic.
Yeah, I feel like I would have lost respect for you if I saw you with 2 bags of Cheerios. You know,
Noted.
well, you know what I mean. Just it's like,
Keep
come on.
that in mind, Josh.
Not that there's
I
anything
will.
wrong with.
You've revolutionized my mornings.
No, I mean, I eat Cheerios. I like Cheerios.
Wow, the backpedaling.
Some
is
of my best friends are
insane.
Cheerios. Yeah.
anyway, that's it. The only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro. That is always the same and never changes. Which again, Liam, I don't know how familiar you are with the show, but the outro changes every time, and it is a callback to something from earlier in the episode. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, and we all go out on it in unison. Does anything come to mind?
Body pillows. 3 body pillow problem.
That's
you know, we're
really
talking
good.
about Netflix. What else did we talk about?
All I can think of is deceit.
Okay, let's all say
Josh
deceit.
lies.
Josh
Josh
lies.
is a liar.
I'm cool with that.
Oh wow!
No, I'm
No,
cool
I'm
with that.
so cool with that. I love that. Love that.
Let's just say deceit. It's funny. I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't.
No. I was not.
Okay.
It's the sugar.
Oh, right. All right. So I'm gonna give us our outro. We'll say deceit in unison. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And until next time, deceit.
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 We all had very different ways of saying that.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how someone delivers that line.
Some of his plan
Yeah.
brings it all together.